Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. We are on the break of NFL Sunday, and I am talking to both my guys. First off, I'd like to introduce Dr. Dan. Actually, both you guys had a stellar day. What am I talking about? But, Dan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. And we're in the midst of the NFL. Giants playing right now, not looking great. But I will take what happened yesterday. It was a 7-1 against the spread day. Really hoping not to give it all back today.
All right, Dream, how about you with your underdog play?
Through with the underdog play, me and Dan spotted that right out of the gate. We talked about it when I got on the mic in the morning. We talked about we did not know why UCLA was giving any point. That made no sense to me. And then I don't know, Dan, do you know Wilson didn't even play?
No, he didn't. And what's even crazier than him not playing is that backup quarterback threw 75 times. He threw the ball 75 times. They
abandoned the run. They abandoned the run game like right out of the gate. And the game was pretty good, competitive. I mean, Utah came out to a good start, but it did get competitive. It wasn't like UCLA went away, but they abandoned.
Right.
Yeah. You were never really nervous if you were playing at plus the 6.5 or, plus the 7. Obviously if you moneylined it, you were a little concerned maybe at some point because the defenses on both sides really just broke down. But, man, I'm really excited for this Utah-Washington matchup. But the thing is, if Utah's defense doesn't shore it up, Washington's going to blow their doors off.
Yeah, because Washington's playing pretty damn good. And I don't know, what was a bigger upset yesterday, or what was a bigger story, I should say, Dan? Was it the Cubs beating Clayton Kershaw or Penn State beating The Ohio State University as a home team underdog on primetime?
I mean, look, you got to say the Cubs go into the World Series, right?
Yep.
Go, Ohio State.
Almost nobody alive. The last time the Cubs went to the World Series was 1945. So you're in your 70s if you saw it and you were a baby.
Yep.
Okay. So Penn State beating Ohio State. Penn State's beaten Ohio State a bunch of times. I know it's crazy because this is the year. And I got to say this, though. I lost a ton of respect for Urban Meyer yesterday. Anybody see his presser post-game?
No.
Well, I still told my guys that everything's in front of them, which it is. And then basically start blaming injuries like, we're getting healthier, things like it's like, come on, man. Like, are you kidding me?
I don't know. Dream, what was your thoughts on that game? Because it looked like Ohio State was moving the ball a lot slower than it did in the Wisconsin game.
To me, first of all, I think the Ohio State was more of a surprise than the Cubs. Only the reason being, the Cubs were dominant right out of the gate at the beginning of baseball season. Right. They really didn't lose much steam. There was a small lull, but for the most part, the Cubs were dominant all season. So I took them to win the whole thing as a future. So I thought that the Cubs had an opportunity. I did not see by any stretch of the imagination Penn State beating Ohio State.
And you know what? Penn State football is clearly back. I mean, that crowd was ferocious last night. I think
they're always back. I think they're always there.
We'll be back to lose next week to University of Rhode Island.
Probably. But no, all I'm saying is yes. I mean, as far as just utter shock, like the thing is just you've never seen the Cubs there and you always expect them to blow it. I think I was more shocked, though, just back to the baseball real quick. What were the Dodgers doing? I understand that Kershaw is your guy. He did not have it at all. Not at all. Bouncing curveballs everywhere.
He didn't have it.
And you leave him out there. You just leave him out there to get knocked around. Like, this is your elimination game. Bring in your next day's starter. Bring in something. Do something. I mean, look, you didn't score any runs, so it doesn't matter anyway. But, man, Cubs, Indians, it's going to be a hell of a series.
Exactly. So, looking at just going back to college football here, to the Big Ten Conference, it doesn't really seem like Ohio State will be bothered by that loss as long as they win out here and they win the Big Ten Championship.
Yep.
Because if they beat Michigan and they win the rest of their games and then they beat whoever it is, whether it's probably going to be Nebraska in the West as far as Big Ten Conference, they'll probably be in the playoffs and this loss will kind of go by the wayside.
Huge if on Michigan.
I'm only going to say this. We're going to have to watch it pan out, but I think you're going to find out this year that this is going to probably be the first year that maybe the conference winners are going to be put to the side, and it's not going to be as impactful as you think, because here's the thing. Ohio State with that one loss, if Louisville has that only one loss too, and Louisville keeps dominating and beating these teams the way they're beating these teams, at the end of this, they're gonna have to say, hey, they're gonna have to make a decision about this conference winner.
I agree with you. And there's another team, Dream, that you actually took yesterday, and that's West Virginia, who's undefeated and looked pretty damn good yesterday versus
real
TCU.
good.
They look real good, but I don't trust West Virginia in the top. Not with those top dogs. I put West Virginia right at maybe the 7th spot. I don't think they're ready to really get in the mix with the Bamas, the Clemsons, the Louisvilles. Do you?
Nah.
No, I think they would probably get knocked out pretty bad. The thing that really hurts Louisville though is what happened to Houston yesterday though.
Oh, right.
Because now that was their big ticket game left, right? It was going to be that Thursday night, 8 p.m., all eyes on us against a very good Houston team, and now Houston losing to SMU.
Oh.
Does it even matter if Louisville beats them down?
I agree
it doesn't, but if Louisville does continue to win by 50+ points with everybody they play, it's going to be a conversation to be had.
I'm with you, especially with the obvious Heisman.
And then the other issue is too, as we're watching this college football go down, who else might catch a loss?
Who else?
You got Clemson, Florida State.
Right,
I know a lot of people don't like Florida State, what they've been doing, and I agree it's been shaky, but, you look at college football and you look at some of the stuff that went down yesterday, and you're like, man, who knows?
Who knows, exactly. But I can tell you this much. I don't think Washington's going to lose at all. And I think that team is definitely going to emerge and be in the playoff. And so you got them, Alabama, probably a Big Ten winner. And then it's up in the air. What's that?
Washington in that pack. It's just the talent level.
Yeah.
I don't know. We say that all the time, but we say it all the time. I still think Washington can compete with anybody. I think it's how much NFL talent you have on your team, and I think Washington has some legit NFL talent.
Exactly. So, guys, looking at the NFL slate and what's going on here, just talking about the first game that's actually happening. Dan, your New York Giants are getting beat 10-0 already.
Yes, they are. They look wonderful.
Well, they look wonderful. What's going on with them? I'm not watching the game. I'm just seeing it here on my board, and I see that the Rams have the ball again.
Yeah, just ineffectiveness. They were driving. They opened the first drive, and Larry Donnell dropped the football. So they've already basically given up 7 points on offense and a field goal. So, like the Giants.
You there, Dan? He'll be back momentarily, guys. So we're looking at that, and hey, the Rams are in the lead. Dream, you there?
I am here.
All right, so we'll continue to talk. But anyway, we'll go right into it. But I just want to discuss the 734 yards that the Texas Tech quarterback had yesterday, Dream. 734 yards. I haven't seen that in a long. Is that a record?
And lost.
And lost. That's got to be a record. How the hell you lose with that?
And lost. You got to just throw that on there too. Oklahoma, a very interesting game yesterday against Texas Tech, and you're right, it probably is a record. I don't know whether it is or not. It seemed like the last time I saw it done was by Kingsbury against Oklahoma when he was playing at quarterback. But very interesting game. Oklahoma quietly getting it back together. I think they have that atmosphere of, you know what? we're not going to the playoffs, so everybody might as well just get happy. Let's try to let the NFL scouts see what we can do and what we're made of. Maybe we'll put a stamp in. Some of us will get recruited to the NFL. Let's have some fun with our season and go out there, enjoy football, and win some games. And that looks like that's what they're doing.
Right on. And you got some undefeated teams left here. You've got Clemson. You've got Baylor. You got West Virginia. You've got Michigan. You've got, Western Michigan, who got the job done. Didn't cover the spread, but got the job done. And you got Boise State, Dream. That's it for undefeated team. Oh, and Washington as well.
Washington, right.
Not bad at all. Oh, also Alabama is undefeated too. And Alabama's a scary team because I don't think that they're playing that well offensively. And they're just getting it done defensively. And they're scoring.
Well, the thing was with Alabama, and especially yesterday, the game was there for Texas A&M for a minute.
Right.
And I think they tried to get a little too cute with some of the play calling.
Yep.
And it ended up blowing up in their face. And then once they gave up that turnover, it just, it was a mess.
It was. Exactly. Because they were within, 6 points?
They were within 6. No, at one point they had the lead.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Wow. Well, hey, you know what? Alabama pulls away, and they score defensively yet again. I think this defense has more points than some offenses out there.
It does, and it does. It does have more points. But, what's sad about Texas A&M is because once Texas A&M fumbled that first ball, when that ball got fumbled and scored, it was like they were a wrap.
Exactly.
They were holding the fort down, and then once that crack came, it was like done.
Exactly. Good morning, everybody. SBTV Nation. Fast Eddie, thank you very much for the beautiful photos of all the women. We always love that here at the biggest show in the world. And Dream, I think it's time to get right into it. Unless you got anything else from yesterday you want to discuss.
As far as yesterday is concerned, I don't have a lot else to discuss. Great game, great job by. I still can't stop talking about Penn State right now and the job that they were able to do, especially on a defensive front. Just combating, what I thought was a very, very good Ohio State team. And, what's crazy is I honestly thought Ohio State was the second best team in the country. I liked them more than Clemson.
Of course.
And I just find it pretty shocking that Penn State went in there and Penn State beat them, not went in there, but beat them. I find that pretty shocking.
Yeah, well, they scored 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, did.
That's pretty impressive. And you know what? I was watching it, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, my God, is this really going to happen? And Ohio State just was stagnant offensively in the second half.
Fourth quarter was just a bad quarter. Ohio State put up no points and gave up 17 points to Penn State on the defensive front. Barrett was not having any success or effective at all. And the play calling, I got to be honest with you again, play calling was bizarre from Ohio State. Kind of, here we go again with the, you know what? We'll get them.
Yeah, right.
You know what? We'll get them.
Right.
All that atmosphere, that type of personality, man, that philosophy will just catch you a loss if you don't check yourself.
I'd like to meet the people that moneylined Penn State yesterday. Who out there has it? If you got a ticket, send it to us because I'd love to see it. Because that had to be like a, 10-1 shot? Something like that because Ohio State was like minus 19 points, Dream.
Sure it was.
Something along those lines. But anyway, hey, it's time to get right into it.
It is time to get into it. Let's go over to the NFL and let's talk about what's
Let's have a conversation. As we're waiting for Dan, I don't know what happened to him, but I'm sure he'll be back on momentarily. And let's kick it right off at 1 o'clock. I'm sure you've got something up your sleeve at 1, Dream, because I know you like playing early games.
I always keep a little something up my sleeve, and I am playing early games, but I have tailed it back just a little bit because it's been a little bit inconsistent, been hard to gauge this NFL thing, so tailed it back a little bit. Gonna get some good looks in and try to figure this thing out over the next 2 weeks before I start getting ready to really get real back into, financially and as hard as possible. Right out of the gate, I got to be honest with you, the first game that I do like the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. Cincinnati Bengals are in the worst need ever for a win.
Yep.
You got Cleveland Browns coming tonight. These two teams do know each other well. We know about their history. Played each other, a bunch of times. Entered, divisional matchup, the whole thing. However, the Cincinnati Bengals is against the wall right now. This is a win that they have to have if they want any thoughts of salvaging their season. The one scary thing about the Browns, they don't have a win.
Right.
It's the only thing you're scared about with the Browns. Otherwise, I mean, you look at Cincinnati, you know that Cincinnati has a very good defense, but they do need their defense to show up today and really play well at home, which I think they're going to get that intensity out of their defense. I think they're going to get a good showing out of their defense. As far as the offense is concerned, I don't expect Cincinnati to dazzle you with offense. It'll probably be slow. It'll probably be ugly. Field goals here and there, a splash of a couple of first downs, but Cleveland's defense will bend enough for Cincinnati to have some success. I believe that Dalton and A.J. Green are going to get it done today. I see Cincinnati winning this game, but do not let the points.
Well, Cleveland's actually scoring more points than Cincinnati. 18.8 versus 18.2, Dream. Kind of crazy. And Cleveland is 3-6 against the spread in the last 9 on the road, and they're 1-5 straight up in the last 5 when playing the Cincinnati Bengals. So Cincinnati's been beating their ass when they've been playing them. And Cleveland 1-6 in the last 7 on the road in Cincinnati as well. So, you know what? Interdivision matchup. I don't like those. Obviously, Cleveland is just spiraling out of control. I mean, that's just a tough organization to be in for how many decades now? I mean, it's been bad, Dream.
Long time.
It's been a long time. And the last couple of games that they've played each other, I mean, Cincinnati 37-3, 31-10, 30-0. Brutality watching this game. I don't even know why you'd want to get involved in this game, Dream. Just because it's the easiest one on there?
Easiest one on the board, and you got Cincinnati in a must-win situation.
Yeah, I get it.
It's the worst team in football, so it's a situational play as far as I'm concerned. Once you remove the points, I mean, come on, it's nothing's ever a lock, and we don't use that word, but It's pretty solid.
It is pretty solid. So I'm going to move over right to my upset of the day, and we're going to go over to the undefeated Minnesota Vikings, who are -3 versus Philadelphia Eagles, and the under/over is 40. And I could see, I think there's a couple of them left, but I could see the 72 Dolphins cracking the champagne today, Dream, as the last undefeated team goes down. I like the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Philadelphia's been great at home. What's your thoughts on that?
All right, so here's the thing. I like the Eagles as I like them undercoverly. You know this already. We talked about this before. My brother's an Eagle fan. I liked them back in the day with Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, the whole thing. The only thing is, I thought this Eagle team was really good this season after watching them come out their first few games. And I thought it was a whole different atmosphere. Not a lot of mistakes being made. Not a lot of penalties. They cleaned up some of that mess. Very focused on offense. Able to execute. Blah, 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 blah. Then I watch them last week and I say, man, offensively, they don't really have a lot of weapons. They've got, give you a splash or something, and at some point, somebody will look decent, and the Giants just got a field goal, in case you guys are interested in that. But when you look at them across the board offensively, as far as weapons are concerned, they just don't scare you. This unit needs to work just as that, a unit, because they don't have that one person that you go, hey, we really got to keep our eye on him, or we really got to watch out for this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Now, here's the other storyline of this. Sam Bradford is coming back to Philly.
Right.
They let him go. So,
exactly.
To me, this game is a little bit scary. Now, I agree with you. For some reason, I feel what you're talking about with this upset. I feel what you're talking about with the Eagles. But the fact that Sam Bradford is coming back to Philly, probably wanting to show to Philly what time it is, and the fact that this Viking defense has been so dominant and played so well, and then you watch a smidgen of Philadelphia's ineptness on offense over the last couple of weeks, to me, it's a stay away from situation. They're not going to allow any rushing yards, the Minnesota Vikings, only giving up 77 rushing yards.
Yep.
Through the air, they're only giving up 238. I don't like the matchup, Hat.
You don't like the matchup. Well, I can tell you this much, that Philadelphia only gives up 15.6 points a game, so they're almost as good defensively. And they do put up 27 points a game. I just think that, the home crowd's going to get behind them, and I just think Minnesota – I'm waiting for the game. This is where Minnesota has to overcome adversity in this game, maybe play from behind, and let's see what they're made of. But this is a very tough place to play. You saw what the Steelers did over there. I mean, they decimated the Steelers. Not that the Steelers – who knows who they are after Miami beat them, but very impressive win. Philadelphia's last home game. I like Philadelphia to get the job done. Dan, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
All right, and you sound
We
great.
lost power.
You lost power.
Yeah, got those nice 60-mile wind gusts just bursting through here these days. So,
all right. Well, you know what?
Got to pay a lot of taxes for really nothing in the state of Connecticut.
We're talking about Minnesota and Philadelphia, and I like the Eagles to win on the field today. What's your thoughts?
Look, I mean, I'm not going to touch this game. I think the Vikings have the best defense in the league right now by a pretty handy margin. And I still think this is a rookie quarterback that you can rattle.
Yep.
And I think, again, a lot to be said about Bradford coming back with a lot to prove and a chip on his shoulder. I actually lean Minnesota to win this game, but I'm not going to play it.
All right. So, and Dream, you're not playing it.
I'm not, but I got to talk to Dan about the Vikings having the best defense in the NFL by a pretty handily margin. You think they're that much better than the Denver Broncos?
Where the Denver Broncos are currently with injuries, once they lost to Marcus Ware, yeah, I think so. I think so right now.
All right, guys, we're going to get into Dan's game, and then we are going to open up our phone lines to the SBTV Nation. So, Dan, what's the game that you got up your sleeve? The Dream went into the Cincinnati Bengals and Browns.
Okay,
and
I'm on Cleve plus the 10.5 there.
You're on Cleve. Dream, he's on Cleve.
Awesome.
All right.
Cleve plus the 10.5. All right, Hatter. Let's talk about your boys, okay?
All right. We're going to go over to the Miami
Let's go
Dolphins.
down to South Beach.
Let's go down to South Beach and see the Buffalo Bills coming into the Miami Dolphins. And Miami is an underdog, a plus 2.5 point underdog. And there's a question mark on Shady McCoy playing today.
There is a question mark on Shady McCoy, and that's okay.
Okay.
Because there is a question mark on Ryan Tannehill's arm ever being legit.
Yes.
And I understand that Miami's got a pretty solid defense at times, but again, a team that likes to take plays off. This is a Buffalo team that's riding real hot. I understand that everybody's like, oh, they're probably due for a loss. Like I said, that loss will come next week at home against the New England Patriots. I think they go out there. I think they're a superior team across the board.
Okay.
And they beat your Dolphins.
All right. You're calling the Dolphins to lose after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dream, you getting involved with Rex?
I'm not getting involved with Rex, but I see where Dan's going. I see a lot of angles to this game, and there's a lot of sides. I don't know. I still think Miami stinks, regardless of what they did last week. And that's how I feel about them. The thing with Buffalo is I don't think Buffalo's as good as their record is, though. And I think they caught a little bit of luck these last few games. So for me, it's a stay away from game as far as I'm concerned in that respect. But I understand if I had to lean aside, I would definitely take the Bills. But I'm going to stay away from it.
You think Ndamukong Suh comes out like Tanya Harding's, like one of the Bills players today?
Yeah, maybe.
Because the Bills the Bills are one of them teams that they're going to get in your face and fight. Which they're not one of those you could beat us up and we're just going to turn the other cheek.
Oh, it's a Rex Ryan classic team. That's true. Hopefully they don't get in their heads too much.
Right. That's what you got to worry about.
Right. That is the worry.
Buffalo swept this series last year. They won 41-14 in Miami, and then 33-17 in Buffalo. So, looking at it here, I mean, it does seem like obviously Buffalo's got the the big tidal wave of momentum here. Winning 4 in a row, and they did beat some pretty good teams. I mean, they beat Arizona, they beat the New England Patriots without Tom Brady, obviously, but still, it's still impressive because it's a Bill Belichick team.
And this game is also, I have to say, because if you look at the Bills' schedule after this, you almost have to say this is a must-win to get to 5-2, because then after this you got the Patriots at home, then you have to go to Seattle for Monday night, go to Cincinnati, and I don't think Cincinnati's that good. Still a tough place to play, and then the Jags, and at the Raiders is no joke anymore. So they have a hard schedule coming up.
Exactly.
He's just picked off a pass from the Rams. The games will be tied momentarily.
The game will be tied momentarily. Right.
I'm like 10 seconds behind you. I'm watching on my phone. I just saw him dive in. So, yes. There it is.
Cool
Classic
deal.
comeback for the Giants. But, hey, guys, look. It is Case Keenum, right?
It is Case Keenum, exactly.
If you can't beat Case Keenum, just walk away.
Hey, guys.
Which it is Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. If the Miami Dolphins win today, they'll be right back in the thick of things.
Complete tat.
and we'll go from there.
Always got to keep the dream alive.
I got to stay positive, man. Positive thinking.
Awful.
Positive thinking. So, all right, moving on here. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the phone lines to anybody that wants to give us a call. 972-885-6184. That's 972-885-6182. Or sorry, 6184. You can give us a call right now. We can have a conversation. You can email us. You could tweet at us. Whatever you want to do. Let us know what you're getting involved in today as far as the NFL is concerned. Let us know if we're on the same page, we're smoking crack, whatever you want to talk about, feel free to give us a call and we can have a conversation. I'm going to move it over to the Dream. Dream, what's game number 2 on your slate?
What makes you think I got to would you? I can't just have one?
Oh, okay. Fine. Go money line Cincinnati and make no money. Go ahead.
And then the Browns beat them outright.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No. Of course, the Dream has game number 2, and that would be we're going to just go with old reliable. New England Patriots.
New England Patriots. Talk to me.
Well, there's not really a lot to tell you other than they're the best team in football right now.
Yep.
They execute the best in football right now. Tom Brady is the Hall of Fame quarterback at the helm, as effective as you could want. And you're going against playing out Ben Roethlisberger-less.
Yes.
Which is a tongue twister, if you could say that all in one sentence. A Ben Roethlisberger-less Pittsburgh Steelers. Dude, could get ugly down there today.
It could.
Could get ugly down there today.
I think it might.
You don't think Landry Jones is going to shock the world?
Yeah, he will shock the world by making more interceptions than as we've ever seen in an NFL game. It's terrible as possible. No, they're going to try to run the ball and try to dumb it down for Landry, not let him make too many mistakes. However, at some point, they're going to have to abandon that and put the ball up, and that could be dangerous for them, especially with a hungry, Patriot defense looking to capitalize on those things. Bills, definitely coach these guys up well. I expect the Patriots to have maximum success today and take advantage of this situation, because that's what the Patriots do. Well, coach, and I expect them to win. So that's going to be part 2 of the money line.
All right. Dan, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm with you. I have the Patriots minus the 7 points. There's nobody better in the NFL than confusing rookie or backup quarterbacks with coverage than Bill Belichick.
Okay.
I think that the schemes that they'll throw at Landry are going to be good. I think they're either down receiver or which one of the 3 had the broken finger. But look, I know Antonio is a beast, and you always got to stick him. But I think the Patriots are going to do that pretty well. I don't think this is going to be a very close game.
The broken finger was Sammy Coates.
No, it's Coates. Yeah, you're right.
Played last week. I mean, they never got him the ball, but he did play last week.
Right. I think. Again, I just think that, right, so you're talking about really covering Brown, and then Le'Veon Bell, I'm really curious to see the Patriots against, obviously, probably the best running back in the league. But again, if you can kind of load the box, because, it's not Roethlisberger, how effective is Le'Veon Bell going to be? And if anybody can take advantage of those situations, it's Belichick, so give me the Patriots and give me the 7 points.
All right. Sounds good. You know what? I like where you guys are going with that. I just can't see Pittsburgh having any success with a backup quarterback. I just don't.
I honestly would have rather had Roethlisberger in there. It was a pick before he was hurt, before that, when the line was out.
No, that makes sense. All right.
I guess I would have liked Patriots in a pick. Would you guys? I mean, if Roethlisberger's in, don't you still take the Patriots in a pick 'em?
No, I don't.
I don't either. No, I stay away from it at that point.
Really?
Yeah, but I might get involved in that. That does look like a pretty interesting matchup to lay some money on. But I'm going to go over to another one here that I think is a pretty good matchup, but I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get the job done over the New Orleans Saints. I think that Andy Reid will dial up a lot of clock management here and just move the ball up and down the field on this awful, awful defense of the New Orleans Saints. You got a dome team coming in, playing on grass. Drew Brees, he doesn't really excel that well when he's outside on the grass. I like Kansas City to get it done, and I think I think defense, maybe a couple turnovers. I think Kansas City gets the job done and wins handily here. Dream, what's your thoughts on this?
Tough game. Trying to figure it out. I agree with you about Drew Brees, dome team outside. I hear you with that. I see that additive. We do know the Saints defense is absolutely terrible. I do think Kansas City is going to win this game. I agree with you. I'm just wondering, though, offensively, how effective the Saints are going to be. because we've seen some breakdowns with Kansas City's defense. It seems like they kind of put it back together their last couple of games.
Yep.
Well, at least against the Raiders anyway. But I'm not the biggest fan of that Raider team. But we saw it break down with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh killed them 43-14.
Right.
I know that was in Pittsburgh, but that 43 points on that defense, that just kind of bothers me a little bit with their defense. So, and you also saw him let San Diego put up 27 on that defense. So I'm just not sure. I think Kansas City will win the game. I do. I think you got to get rid of the points, but I don't know it's going to be a cakewalk as we might think it is, but I do think Kansas City will win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen Drew Brees they put up, and versus the Giants, Dan, didn't they only put up 17, 18 points, something like that?
13.
Yeah. It was like 13 points.
Right.
It was
versus the Giants. You know what I mean? Kansas City's got way better defense, to be honest.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, you don't think so, huh?
I mean, the Giants' problem has been offense. I mean, the Giants' defense, has been pretty good.
Well, they're number 19 in the league. And Kansas City is up there. What are they? They are.
Giants also turn over the ball like crazy.
Yeah,
so
good point.
Some of those stats are.
New Orleans defensively gives up 419 yards per game, number 31 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. But it's also the only thing you worry about, and this is what worries me, and I looked at this game, is that you also have a quarterback that doesn't throw a deep ball.
No, right, exactly. Well, that's beautiful because what I see clock management. I see him going up and down the field, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, bang, 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 keeping the ball out of Drew Brees' hands and getting the job done.
You're just taking this no points. You're teasing this.
I think I'm going to lay the points too. On top of
6.5.
Yeah.
I see it. I think you're right. Something tells me you could see that backdoor cover, like they're up 11.
Yeah,
and, Breezy
maybe,
drives.
Maybe. So it definitely spells for a good money line situation as well.
Yeah.
To get involved with other stuff. But I like Kansas City to get it done today. I'm going to move it over to Dr. Dan. Dan, what do you want today?
Let's see. Where are you know what? My masochistic play of the week, and I got to go with the New York Jets today.
Oh, no.
And Geno
Smith.
Geno.
You love picking on Baltimore, don't you?
I do love picking on Baltimore. It's worked out so far, right? It really has.
Yeah.
I just don't think Geno never had the talent, okay, that Fitzy did. And look at what Fitzpatrick's done with it. You have a legit number one receiver. Geno never really had that. I just think that the Jets are going to get this done today. They're not as bad. And if they didn't turn the ball over, and can you really turn the ball over as much as Fitzpatrick did? I don't think so. So, I think the Jets win this game, especially at home. This is it's already beyond the point of must win, but you also have a quarterback that's trying to show that he has a future in the league.
Do you realize that the New York Jets are dead last in points scored? 15.8 points scored per game.
That's atrocious.
Wow, that's bad. Dream. New York Jets. Are we trying to save them here or what?
Can't go nowhere near it for me.
Yeah.
I can't take the Jets. I can understand it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I think they have a better shot at winning with Fitzpatrick than they do with Geno, because now here comes Geno. What little familiarity the offense does have right now, it has it with Fitzpatrick. So now here comes Geno. So now everybody's kind of going to have to reset now and try to get a rhythm together with him and try to get him involved in it. And it's just not a good fit right now as far as I'm concerned, from my standpoint. I get you want to try something different. This guy hasn't been executing. You're frustrated, blah, blah, blah. I understand all of that. But I think they have a better shot with Fitzpatrick. That being said, the Ravens are pretty banged up. So to me, it's anybody's game. I don't love the Jets. I hear Jets are due. I hear Ravens are banged up. I don't like the Jets in this spot, but I can't really say don't do it. But I wouldn't.
And here's my other thing. I think the Jets would be better in the hands of Bryce Petty right now.
I agree with you. I've been waiting.
I think
to see
he
him
should be
come
playing
in.
football.
I agree. I'd love to see him come in and see how he does. But you know what? Hey, that's up for the coaching's decision. And you know what? We'll keep it moving and go from there. But you're on the New York Jets to get it done. And yeah, I'm not a fan of this Baltimore team at all. They've definitely fell pretty far. Have they lost 3 in a row now? Yeah, 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row. And, I mean, even the wins they do have, this is not an impressive football team.
No, absolutely not. So, all right, let's keep it moving over to the Dream. Dream, what are you on?
Okay, last but not least, because you know how I roll with big dogs and, not dogs, but the big dogs, meaning the big teams.
Yes.
So I'm going my last spot, money line parlay. We're going to go to Atlanta Falcons back at home today against a team that I really can't stand. I don't like San Diego Chargers, don't like Phillip Rivers at all. We got Matt Ryan back at home. Caught a loss last week. I think they bounced back. Julio Jones got robbed last week of a play that should have been definitely pass interference. I expect Atlanta to come out a little bit mad, a little bit determined, want to go out and beat this Charger team. Chargers don't play really good defense. Atlanta's home. I expect Freeman to have a big game on the ground. I like the Falcons, and that completes the money line parlay.
Dan, what's your thoughts? Are the Atlanta Falcons for real?
I mean, I think so. And, I mean, the more important thing is the Chargers are for real as chokers. I mean, so you got to think Atlanta gets it done at home if you're money lining it. 5.5 points is a nasty number. Something tells me, I don't know. I see this game hanging close, though, and the Chargers blowing it late like they normally do.
The Chargers are 4-14 in the last 18 games. I mean, Dream, when do you say when with Phillip Rivers in this organization? I mean, come on.
He's better than Eli Manning, though.
You got to make a change, though. You got to do something here.
We gave him money, hat. He just got to.
I know, but it doesn't work.
I know it don't
not
work.
Working.
What are you going to do? Well, who are you going to go get right now?
I don't know, man. You got to do something.
What are you going to do? Trade for Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Never get yourself a quarterback that has like 55 children.
Yeah.
Right? His focus is just on way too many things. I mean, I don't know. It looks so bad. It looks so bad out there. I mean, think of the quarterbacks that have been at that record over a course of that stretch of games, and you're like, wait, they're not playing football anymore.
Yeah,
right.
What
my thing with Rivers is, and I'm going to give Rivers a slight. And then listen, I don't like Phillip Rivers. Trust me.
Right.
I do respect guys' gameplay though. Rivers though has always had minimal talent. I felt in always injury-prone situations. There's that. For some reason, San Diego has always had that injury proneness as far as the talent around him.
Yep.
And Rivers, you can say what you want about Rivers, though. I will give him this, too. He never really has complained about his situation.
No.
He's gone out there. He doesn't dazzle you with his stuff, but I mean, the guy's not complained a lot. He didn't, and
because like Joe Flacco, someone gave him $100 million. I wouldn't be complaining either.
Still like Rivers' personality more than Cuddles.
Yeah. Good
point.
No,
100%. I'm ripping on him a little hard. I don't hate him.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But I agree, Dream. He's always got his head held high.
No,
but he does deal with crazy injuries.
Oh, all the time.
His guys are always, all his guys are usually always banged up. And I mean, they did have a slight success when LaDainian Tomlinson was.
Oh yeah, but even then, remember they had that great year. They went into the playoffs. So what happened? LaDainian Tomlinson, did he like tear his groin or something?
Yep.
So it's like no, he's had bad luck. But again, that whole team together. I mean, the coaching staff, you got to put it on them. I mean, they're not getting it done.
Any shot at taking an over here? I mean, these teams defensively are not that good, and you got some pretty damn good offenses. What's the total here? Total is 55 points. Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot for an NFL game. Yeah.
I've pretty much been taking overs with every San Diego game right away, and it's been working.
Yeah, and you know what? They did beat the Denver Broncos in a low-scoring affair. But I don't know. You know what? Something about this game bothers me. You know what? I hate seeing a team. I hate betting against a team or for a team that lost the week before, just because sometimes the losing continues. And I'm just, Dream, you're probably in good shape here. I'm just not going to put my money around it.
But my whole thing is, and I do this, if you want to say that, then I say, if they call that pass interference call, they kick a field goal and win that game.
Yeah, good point. I agree with you on that, 100%. You know how vocal I've been about that situation. So, moving on, Dan, what other games you on here?
All right, I got to go with something real nasty.
Oh.
Real nasty, but...
You with that Raider team again?
No, actually, no. Even nastier than that Raider team. That's actually a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to go real nasty with the Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5 at the Tennessee Titans.
Talk to me about why you get involved in that one.
Please.
This is to me, I'm just not seeing. I mean, look, I know the Colts have been bad, but the Titans have been the Tennessee Titans. I mean, we're talking about wins at the Dolphins and against the Browns, barely. I think, obviously the Colts, this division is not that good, so everybody's still kind of alive. Colts have to win this game today. Have to. And they have, the quarterback situation, you have to think that Luck, he is better than Mariota right now, and you have to think that he does what he does. I just don't think the Titans are all that. And I know the Colts aren't either, but Colts are definitely, plus 3.5. I don't know. I just don't see that. And it just looks like a weird line. I gotta lay it on the Colts.
The problem I have with the Colts is their defense. They should have beat Houston last week. There was 5 minutes left in the game, and they gave up 2 scores. And you know what? You just kind of felt it. You almost felt that Houston was going to come back, even with Osweiler. I just felt it. I don't know why.
I'm grabbing the life jacket and to save you. I'm trying to throw it in the water to you, Dan. If I could pull you off at any game, and I usually don't, I usually respect what you say because I take everything you say, for the most part, I agree with it or I'll let you roll with it. But this one, I can't be the complete opposite of you. Tennessee Titans have surprised me with their ability to execute, especially at home. They've got a very solid running game, which surprised me as well. I did not expect DeMarco Murray to be this successful outside of Dallas. He's been great with them. He's been a great fit on this team. Mariota doesn't kill you. He'll make that 1 or 2 mistakes, but he doesn't kill you. Up against a bad Colt defense, I don't see it happening. And this Tennessee defense, 254 yards through the air and only 88 on the ground. Tennessee's defense is solid, especially at home. This Colt team, dome team, going to play outside. To me, Tennessee wins this game, brother.
All right. I definitely respect. I see where you're going. I don't know. Tennessee has the 22nd worst passing defense in the league. I know the Colts are 20, so they're not much better. I just think that this is the game where Andrew Luck gets after it. And, hey, maybe they lose by a field goal.
Well, I can tell you this much, that the Colts have won the last 9 games in a row when they've played the Tennessee Titans. 9 in a row, Dan. Going for number 10. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
Colts are a little bit, they're banged up, too. Another team decimated with injury.
Plus 3.5. I'm still saying. I don't.
I understand. But, that defense bothers me. So, hey, I wish you the best of luck in that one, but I'm not going anywhere near that one at all. Jim, you got any other games you want to talk about?
Last little piece of the appetizer we'll give you. It will give you, because I keep it real. Listen, one thing about me, I keep it real with my team, okay? The teams that I'm on, I want to be real with. I'm never going to fake the funk. Niners stink. Told you that beginning of the season. Told you that last season. Kaepernick, Gabbert, I don't care who they put in there. They stink. Chip Kelly needs to go to Oregon, fix that situation up, get another coach into San Fran, let both them clowns at quarterback go, and go in a whole nother direction and rebuild this thing. Yes. But until they do that, which is not happening right now, the Buccaneers are coming in and need a win worse than ever. We talked about Jameis Winston making some strides this season and looking like he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. Looked like it was going to happen in week 1. Then after that, it all disappeared. Let's look for Jameis to get himself back on track against a Niner defense that is just on the field too much to have a whole lot of success. Niners are also going to be playing without Carlos Hyde today. He's out. Torrey Smith is questionable. They're banged up. The weapons are not there. I like Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game.
All right, Dan, any thoughts there?
I really wanted to take this Tampa Bay team, but I just don't trust them on the road still. I know everything you say is 100% correct. I just don't trust them on the road.
Hey, Dan, can you pull up if there's any weather that we need to worry about in any of these games?
Yeah, sure.
All right, that'd be great. Because you know what? That's always just a little additive that, we've got to pay close attention to, especially when putting our money on these games. Big one at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got Sunday Night Football. You got the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is -1. with an under-over of 44. Dream, I know that we don't think this Seattle team is all that.
But I don't think Aries is either.
Right on. That's what I was going to say. I don't know what to make of either one of these teams. And Seattle is 4-1, and Arizona's 3-3. Arizona needs to win this game. What's up?
Arizona, they have one of the most erratic-looking offenses right now that I've seen. They have, like, no rhythm or consistency to this offense. They throw a ball, it looks like it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden, they get a couple of drops, somebody does a false start, and next thing you know, they're punting. It's like if they don't get a busted play, they won't have any type of offense going on. And this Seattle defense, while I don't think they're as good as they used to be, they are still pretty darn good. As long as they don't get their heads wrapped up into whatever they got involved with last week, which I don't know what exactly that was going on, but I think they should be able to be formidable. Now, Arizona relies a lot on Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald is one of the older wide receivers in the game. Seattle should be able to give him some attention and keep him being a non-factor, which will cause Arizona to maybe go in different directions. I don't know what's going on with the relationship with Floyd and the Arizona Cardinals right now. If the coaching staff doesn't believe in him, he's been on the sideline, hasn't been utilized a lot. Carson Palmer's also a little bit banged up. Jerron Brown is also a little bit banged up. He's listed as questionable. And John Brown is listed as doubtful. So you're talking about an offense that has a lot of injury issues right now.
Yeah, John Brown might be out for a while. He got diagnosed with like a sickle cell trait. He's having issues with that. So I definitely see what you're saying. I still, though, think this Seattle team is grossly overrated even at 4-1.
Okay.
I understand that they beat the Falcons at home, and that looked good. I don't know, man. This game, Arizona to me, I understand they're at 500. I just think they're one of those teams that kind of came off slow. I think they're working their way back to where they were. And I think today, because still of the glaring weakness of the Seattle offensive line, I think Arizona wins this game today.
You think they get it done
I think they do.
All right. You know what, Dan? I think they do as well. I don't think I'm going to get involved in it, but, I think that if they lose this game, you're 3-4 in that division. And you know what? That's going to be tough to climb out of, especially with Seattle being 5-1. At a head-to-head matchup, they have to win this game. But I think it's going to be ugly, Dream. I really do.
And Seattle's schedule, too, if you look at it, is not crazy. They have the Cardinals, which, again, if they win and go to 5-1, then it's at the Saints, the Bills, at the Patriots, a tough game. Then you get the Eagles, but at home, and then at the Bucs and a terrible Panthers team. So it's like, I don't think this game means way more to Arizona. And again, I think Arizona, was one of those teams that kind of built themselves to beat what Seattle's doing. Give me Arizona, baby.
Getting Arizona. Okay.
And I am on Seattle, guys.
You're on Seattle, huh?
I like Seattle, and I'm not taking them. I gave you my money line parlay, but as far as the game is concerned, I like Seattle to win, and I also slightly lean under. I think a teaser with Seattle in the under is probably going to be successful. I just don't think Arizona is going to have any success on the Seattle defense. And
Dream's not taking it until 7:45 tonight, by the way.
True.
Which is smart. That's what you got to do.
That's right. But I don't think Arizona's offense is going to have any success against Seattle's defense. I think Seattle is going to bore them to death. Seattle's going to play Bama ball. Bore you to death. Wait for you to make a mistake. Capitalize. Run the ball a whole lot, maybe hit Jimmy Graham with a couple passes and find somebody weak or late, in the end zone for a touchdown and maybe go out and win that game.
You think Seattle's able to run the ball at all?
I think they're going to have some success running the ball.
All right. And what about David Johnson? You think he'll be all right? Because I'm actually putting together a fantasy lineup right now, and I have a question mark on putting him in, yes or no. How's he going to do versus this Seattle Seahawks team, Dream?
Well, that only gives up 74 yards on the ground.
Got it.
There's better spots. If you're doing a daily fantasy, I don't think you put him in just because, he's still going to be very, very expensive, and I think there's higher upside guys today.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, he's $7,400 on one of the sites that I'm on right now.
That's not bad.
All right. And I'm looking at the Eagles defense today. I like that. as far as the defense is concerned, because I think they'll stop Matthew. What's his name there? Who's a quarterback for Sam Bradford?
How much is Cincinnati's defense?
Cincinnati's defense right now is, let's see, 3,600.
And how much is Philly?
Philly is 3,100.
Okay.
So I like picking my defense first because it gives me more. It just psychologically, it gives me more money to play with the other players. It's kind of crazy how that works out, but that's how I roll when I'm doing my daily fantasy lineups. One more game we got on the ticket. Actually, there's two more that we haven't talked about. Dan, we got your Oakland Raiders here playing the Jacksonville Jags. Dream, it's everybody's two favorite teams.
I know. I was going to say everybody must.
That's why I don't know what to do.
All right, so you got Oakland at Jags. Jags -1.
Man.
Dan, I know that's a nasty game, so I'm going to give it to you to talk about it.
It is nasty.
It is.
It's not even that nasty anymore. There's way nastier games. You got to say Colts-Titans is nastier than this. Look, you have the Oakland Raiders coming east again for a 1 o'clock game. Part of me thinks that they expose one of the worst secondaries in the league in Jacksonville. I think Crabtree has a big game. I'm going to stay away from this, though. I'm just going to stay away, and I hope that we get a good quarterback battle from the two young kids.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Oakland gives up 444 yards per game defensively. So, hey, Blake Bortles might be the guy to take as far as your fantasy is concerned, Dan.
Maybe.
Yep.
Back to the fantasy thing, too. You might want to look at the Patriots today for a defense as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you're putting the rookie in, or the backup in, and like Dan said, Belichick's defense definitely going to give him some looks that he doesn't know what he's seeing. So you might get some turnovers.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah,
I'm definitely taking some Kansas City Chiefs players as well, offensively. So
I like the Bills' defense today.
there you go. All right, one more game on a ticket we got, and I'm going to stay. I've got my money made with the Detroit Lions. Now I'm going to stay away from them because they got Washington coming into town, and Washington's kind of hot. And this game is a pick'em with an under/over of 50. Pretty interesting matchup here. Detroit is giving up 25.5 points per game, where Washington 23.7, and they're both scoring roughly, 24 to 25 points each. Washington 4-2 right now. Surprisingly, looking up at the Dallas Cowboys in that division. Do you have any side whatsoever here, Dan?
Oh God, no. I think this is one of those where you just take your biggest coin, flip it, and that's going to happen. I mean, anything I think can happen in this game. It could be a blowout one way or the other. It could be a close game one way or the other. I'm just not sure how to feel about this. I don't know. Best luck to anybody who thinks they know what's going on.
I think the pick'em line is very, very coin flip-ish.
Yeah.
As far as this is concerned. Dream, any thoughts on this game?
These two teams are almost remind me of each other.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like mirror images here.
Very much so. However, I think Detroit at home has a slight advantage.
Okay.
Redskins are a little bit banged up. Deshaun Jackson is questionable. Reed is definitely out. Redskins look like they missed Reed last week as well. I did notice that as far as their movement on offense was concerned. So I did notice not having Reed seemed to be an issue. So they probably put some work in on that during this week. So I would expect maybe that to work a little bit better, but keep that in mind. Detroit's also banged up, but not necessarily skilled in the skill player position as much. I just think Detroit, for some reason, they seem to have the luck of the Irish when they're at home, apparently. They managed to get it done, just enough to get it done at home. I would slightly go, if I had to go gun to my head, I would go Detroit.
You would go Detroit to win in the Dome.
I hope you're right.
But you know what? I think the over might be a better play.
You like the over 50?
Yep.
Interesting. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for us, and that we've gone through every single NFL game. So why don't we recap what we've got, Dan? You know what? Before we even do that, also, too, before we do the recap, Dan, who wins the World Series?
So, I did some sleeping on this because everything, like I said yesterday, everything in my guts pointed to the Cubs. And this line has actually gone crazy. This started last night. I think the Cubs were plus 131. They're now at plus 185 or minus 185. Sorry,
185. Wow.
I have the Indians at plus 185 on some books.
Really?
As of last night, the Indians were plus like 133. They're up to plus 185. I am going to play this a couple ways. I'm going to take the Cubs in 6 or the Cubs in 7.
Okay.
And I'm going to play the Indians series at plus 180. Because I think I can find a way to arbitrage that, because this is not going to be a short series.
You don't think so? You think
I really don't think so.
All right. Dream, you got the Cubs, right?
I have the Cubs.
All right. So because
I want to see it.
And when's it start? Tuesday or Wednesday, Dan?
Tuesday
night is when the World Series begins. All right. So, guys, that's going to do it for us. We're going to recap our plays. Dan, what are you on today?
Yeah, so I know you guys try to talk me off the ledge, but we'll ride the Colts plus 3.5. The Cleveland Browns plus 11. The Bills minus 2.5. Jets minus 2.5. Patriots minus a touchdown. And the Arizona Cardinals minus a point. And I'll let you guys know Tuesday morning or at some point on Tuesday what I am doing officially on the World Series. Best of luck to everybody today.
All right. Sounds good. Dream, what are you getting involved in today?
All right. It is a 3-team money line parlay. Cincinnati Bengals, New England Patriots, and the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Sounds good. So that probably pays pretty well. All right. Here's what I'm at. I'm doing point spreads today. And I'm also going to combine the two as a money line. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles to win on the field. I think they're going to get it done over the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm also going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what? I may actually 7-point tease these to get Philadelphia plus 10 as well. Because I like that. I think this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out affair, a low-scoring affair between Minnesota and Philly. I like Philly to get it done at home and Kansas City to beat the New Orleans Saints.
And guys, I don't want to break in here real quick, but there's a very serious injury in this Giants game right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure who it is. It's number 17 on a special teams play. He's on the ground. He doesn't look like he's moving. They're cutting his jersey off now.
Oh, wow.
He got, I don't know. It looks pretty bad, so I don't want to speculate, but prayers and all
definitely.
that out there.
Absolutely. All right, guys, so let's cut out of here. Dan, do your closeout, Dream, do yours, and we'll go about a week
so, everybody have a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully you don't lose power like I did. You can watch and enjoy your football. Treat every day like it could be your last. I like that, Dream. I had to repeat it because I love it. Guys, best of luck. I know that we're going to have different sides to this World Series. I hope that you guys hit me up. Let me know what's going on. I will see all y'all next week.
All right, sounds good. Dream, what do you got to do to close out of here?
I want to thank everybody that's got on and retweeted the show this morning. We got KMBU, Terrence Mack, Lewis Cypher, OJMB, C-Rod, C. Rodriguez Jr., Fast Eddie 72, Joseph Del Rosario, Red Shirt Media's in the house, the incredible Marley Marr is out there, Friar Britt, Vegas Jack, Direct Sports Solution, LA WizKid, Wayne Yarborough, Snoopy Betts. We got Vegas Girl 9266130, Bashard JP, Shane Whitehead, and Woods GG, just to name a few. Gang! The DM thing that I usually do won't get done today because I don't have the time and I'm running. I did tell you what I like on the show, so that's where I'm at. I'll probably be looking at a 2-team teaser tonight with the Seattle game. I do like Seattle, and I do like the under tease. That's probably what's going to be the recipe for tonight. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for tuning into the biggest show in the world. We have an absolute blast every single day. And tomorrow we'll be on, myself and the Dream, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as we break down everything that went on today. And we talk Monday Night Football and World Series as well. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Rise and grind. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.